But let's move on and let's throw focus on JB Chemicals. We have with us Nikhil Chopra, the CEO and director at JB Chem, joining in the show right now. Nikhil, hi, good morning. Great to have you in the show. Was just looking at your past quarterly performance. The sales momentum clearly has been intact. It's been very strong. Do you think you'll be able to maintain these kind of growth levels going forward as well? You said that you're going to maintain 500 crore sales every quarter in the last 4 versus about 350 to 400 crores earlier. Is it sustainable? Will you be able to scale it up further?
First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me on IT Now Show. The way we have performed last year and particularly Q4, the way we have built up the momentum in last 3 quarters with me coming at JB Chemical, we are more than confident that in India business, which contributes 50% to our overall revenue, we will continue to have market-beating growth. And with a lot of the initiatives that we have taken on cost improvement measures, will be in the same margin EBITDA as we demonstrated in FY21. Also to share, we have built a good momentum in our international business, which showed a robust growth of 30% plus in Q4 and for the year close to 30%. So with lot of initiatives that we have taken in our international business and augmenting our geographies with new portfolio, going deep into that part of the world, we are more than confident that we'll be able to deliver good mid-teen growth in our international business and market-beating growth in India business.
Sure. Nikhil, your margins for the Q4 came lower, however, at 24%, but for the full year at about 27%, as the earlier number of 30 to 31%. What's a reasonable, rationalized margin range that you're working with going forward now?
So Q3, we were at close to 30% margin. Q4, we were close to around 24% EBITDA margin. March overall for Indian pharma market is a subdued month, and there were some cost escalations happening because of the COVID condition for some of the essential medicines. But going ahead, as I shared earlier, with market beating growth that we expect and the momentum to be built up, and with the cost initiatives, measures, improvement that we have taken over last year, we are confident that we'll be able to maintain the same EBITDA margins as we stand for FY21.
Okay, so, with KKR coming in and lots of changes as well, what's the momentum been like on the domestic business front? Take us through some of the latest there, the kind of new programs that you've also launched to enhance the brand lineup.
Yeah, so as we talk more about India business, as we talk about, contributes 50% of our revenue, and we as a company have 5 brands in top 300 as reported in IPM, and the initiatives that we have taken of expanding our presence in the world of nephrology, in the world of pediatrics, in the world of respiratory, by offering portfolio to the healthcare professionals, and the new go-to-market strategy that we have put in place. There's a full transformation that is happening in India business, and that transformation is backed up by the entire digital initiatives that we have taken. We have 2,000 people working in India business on the ground, fully supported by the team in head office, who conceptually are helping our team to enhance their presence in the clinic of doctors when they go and visit the healthcare professionals in their offices. So overall, the strength of the company is brand building, and we have 5 big brands. The idea going ahead, that how do we make these big brands bigger and add to the kitty 10 to 12 brands, which conceptually can contribute and fuel to the growth in the coming time in India business. And overall, what I would like to compliment my team in India, the way they have demonstrated over last couple of years, and with market beating growth in India business, and our 5 brands in top 300 who have been only gaining ranks, which is a combination of Silacar, Metrogyl, Rantec, and Nicardia. And those brands, we expect them to only become bigger with the entire strategy that we have put in place, that what we want to do in metro and tier 1 cities, and how do we go in the world of tier 2 and rural part of the country, where we can extract the juice from our legacy brands and focus in metro and tier 1 for more progressive portfolio, which is a combination of brands that we have and the newer initiatives that we have taken.
Okay, specifically on MR, the company's expanded a lot in the last few years. What's the scope of productivity gains on that front? And with KKR coming in as well, have you increased divisions of MR to 7? I think it was 4 earlier.
No, so just to share with you, today we have 2,000 people working in the field. And couple of years ago, company took a stance of increasing the number of MRs from 700 to 2,000. Before, neither KKR was there, neither I was there. But with what I shared earlier, with new go-to-market strategy and the transformation that we have put in place, we earlier had 4 divisions, and today we have 7 divisions. So we have not added any MR, but we have optimized our resources, which is there in the market, and we are using the strength of the people and added new specialties in terms of which we can cater with the new portfolio. Our today per person productivity, if I have to talk in terms of the yield per person, stands to around 4.9 lakh, close to 5 lakh rupees per person per month, which is at par with the industry. And going ahead with all the new initiatives that we have taken, we are looking forward that this productivity can easily go up by 12 to 14% mid to short term. But just to share with you, we have not added any MR in last couple of years. What restructuring happened 2 years ago, we are continuing with that and optimizing our resources. So what is the best we can get from the people when they go and visit doctors?
Sure. Can you also talk about the increased focus that you have now on your top 5 brands, especially when it comes to brand extension going forward, the focus that you're going to have on 2 to 3 tier towns as well?
So it's a combination of 2 things. If I have to talk about, we are one of the dominant player in the world of hypertension with our brands like Cilacar, Nicardia, and we are rightly placed in terms of when we talk of managing the patients with the help of yesterday's antihypertensive, that is nifedipine, today's antihypertensive calcium channel blocker, that is cilnidipine, and tomorrow's antihypertensive, that is ezelidypine. So there we see a huge scope in terms of what we can do in the world of hypertension, closely working with healthcare professionals, launching patient adherence models. That is how we see scope in metro and tier 1 town, and equally backed up by some of the newer initiatives that we have taken, where we have launched a new division, which is majorly in the world of pediatrics and respiratory, with a field force of 350 people. As I shared earlier, how we have optimized our resources, which will help us close to work with this with this specialty. Now, when I talk about tier 2 and rural towns of the country, we have brands like Rantac, we have brands like Metrogyl, where we see enough scope by looking at different ways and means in terms of how closely we can work with the channels. That is, when I talk about channels, I'm talking about pharmacies, I'm talking about hospitals, how we can closely work with them and look at opportunity in that part of the world.
Sure. The one thing, Nikhil, which I wanted to definitely understand is, your recently launched division, which is Renova in the nephrology segment. How exactly is it going to complement your existing cardiac business?
Yeah, very good question. In terms of when I wanted to talk about Renova, in terms of nephrology as a segment has been our strength over past recent years, and they conceptually cater to good amount of prescriptions for our antihypertensive range, which is renal safe. Now, to complement our presence, we have launched a niche task force of 40 people who would be going and talking to nephrologists in terms of supportive therapy. So existing prescriptions that we are getting from nephrology as a specialty, and complementing by creating a niche task force, which will go and talk of more supportive therapy in the field of nephrology, will overall complement and enhance our relationship with nephrologists as a specialty.
Nikhil, at a time when pharmacy as well as pharmaceuticals are all going digital, it's all about data. Given that you have such a large network of doctors and a solid relation over the years, how is it that you're looking to capitalize this data pool that you have?
So what we have done over last 6 months, we have created a base in terms of how do we want to get into the world of phygital, which is a combination of physical and digital. And over recent COVID times has conceptually, if I have to use the word, it has forced us in terms of what we can do in the world of digital when we are going in the offices of doctors. So we have equipped all our teams with the help of iPads, and we are closely working in the world of closed loop marketing. And we only want to complement the physical presence of our field people when they are visiting doctors by the entire effort that we have taken in the world of Salesforce automation, Salesforce excellence, and looking at what best we can do by enhancing the relationship that our people enjoy with the doctors by complementing their presence, and looking at how do we use now closed loop marketing, and look at the bigger brands that we want to make big. How can we closely work with the consumers, the patients, in driving better adherence model? So these are all the baby step initiatives that we have taken over last 6 months. And going ahead, we are looking at digital will be a part of our strategy in terms of how we can enhance the presence of our people when they go and meet doctors. Also, I would like to share that in terms of what initiatives we have taken in organizing virtual conferences with healthcare professionals, and that was a couple of weeks ago. We had a virtual conference for the first time in the history of JB Chemical as a company, where we got 40,000 doctors who logged in and who registered themselves, and 20,000 doctors who logged in, and it was a 3-day virtual conference with 40 plus sessions in terms of medical marketing and looking at in terms of how we can disseminate knowledge. So we are using technology in terms of how we can bring customer delight when our people are going and visiting doctors. Equally, how we can use technology to disseminate knowledge with the top doctors of the country, which can go to physicians, pediatricians as a specialty, and it can help them to manage their patients better.
Nikhil, great to have you on the show. Thank you for speaking with us on a whole host of segments and data points with regards to JB Chemicals and the visibility going forward on the business.